Hi guys, welcome to the first episode in Road to the Tent. This time it is going to be a cake episode. I think my first several are going to be like cake week, but instead of it being a week, I'll probably post cake type of recipes over the course of a month. And this is going to be a Swiss roll cake with an inlay design on it. I took this template and I traced it onto some parchment paper. And I'm going to put that into my baking pan. And the first thing that I'm going to do is pipe the strawberry design onto this. So I'm gonna switch from this view and I'm gonna put it overhead. In all transparency, this is my second attempt at this recipe. I tried it the other day and I totally messed up on the cake. And so I'm starting over because practice makes perfect, right? Okay, so here I am. I'm gonna go get started, guys. So I need 2 tablespoons of butter. This is room temp, but I think I'm going to, it wants it a little bit softer than room temp. So I think I'm gonna just microwave it for like 10 seconds just to get it a tad softer. Okay, I literally had that in for like 8 seconds, that was it. Now the rest of the ingredients. This is gonna be the paste that we use to do the inlay. So it's gonna be 2.5 tablespoons of sugar, 1/3 cup of cake flour, 1 egg white, and then the food coloring. That's all that's gonna go into this. Now I'm gonna add the sugar, which is 2.5 tablespoons. And we're just gonna kind of cream that together to get a paste. And I'm really just trying to get the sugar and the butter totally incorporated right now. Oh, Jesus. That looks good to me. Flinging some of it out. Let me get it back in. Okay. Okay. Just gonna to get that off. There we go. Now I'm going to add the flour. So it's 1/3 cup of cake flour. Just going to get this a little bit partially incorporated, and then I'm going to add my egg white. The egg white will help it all come together. Okay, now I'm going to do my egg white. I'm going to use this little container to catch it. Okay, I'm just going to dump this in and work on the paste. This will be like a buttercream consistency when I get it all incorporated. And we'll use that to pipe. I'm gonna do 3 colors for the design. We'll do like a Kelly green for the stem. We're gonna do obviously a bright red for the strawberry. And then I think I'm gonna just do like a little pink for the additional kind of design. I'm not gonna use tips. I'm just gonna cut out gingerly my piping bags. I think that's easier, at least for me. And I think I'm ready to get going. Here's the consistency we want there. Okay, before I do that, guys, I am going to pan my pan here. and then lay down the design. This is the side it's on. I'm gonna do the inverse just so I don't get pencil markings on it. And like I said, I'm gonna put some Pam on here. I'm hoping it'll help things not stick. So hopefully this will fit perfectly. Pretty darn close. Okay, it looks really cute, right? I'm gonna divide my batter into these little dishes. Give a little bit more for the red, because obviously we'll use a little bit more for the red. The polka dots aren't gonna need much, and I don't think the green's gonna need that much either. Okay. So this is gonna be our biggest one. You know what, I'm gonna start with the green and just do one at a time. I think that's a nicer way of me keeping myself organized. I'm using these gel food colors that I just got off of Amazon. Okay. That should be enough, but let's mix it. I do try to mix this really well so that it's a consistent color and not white in it anywhere. Sometimes that's easier said than done. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Get a little bit more. I'm going to use the spatula because I think it'll help, especially when I have to get it out in my piping bag. Okay, that's good enough. I am going to cut down my piping bag. I don't need it to be this big. I like to do this just because it makes it easier for me to like manage the bag if it's just a small job. So yeah, I just cut that out. So now it's just a nice little, and then I'm going to try to get every bit of green out of here. And I also try to get it as far down to the bottom as I can, just so I'm not wasting a bunch on the side of the bag. Obviously easier said than done, right? Piping is not my strong suit, so I'm trying to get to where my things look more professional, not so home baker. But again, right, practice makes perfect. Okay, I'm gonna clean the top of this bag off just so I don't get it everywhere, and then I'll be back. You see, now I'm just kind of smushing it down. I hope I have enough green. See, this is where I always get nervous. So will I have enough? I don't know. It doesn't look like a lot. I'm also just gonna chop off the very top here. Okay, I'm gonna leave it, guys. So those are the stems. Not too bad, right? Let's do the red for the strawberries. Oh, be nice if I opened the container. Oh, probably didn't need that much. but it's okay. We definitely want the strawberries to be red, not pink. So looks perfect. And the red I have is actually Chef Master. So these are really good ones too. I use this for a red velvet cake when I make it. So I have the bigger bottle of the red. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna cut down a piping bag because I just don't need that big of a bag. And I'm gonna work really hard to try to get the red all the way to the bottom, because red can get super messy. There we go. That's great. Let's get more out of here because red is what I definitely need the most of. Okay, I was doing good until the very end here, but still this bag's in better shape than what the green was. I am gonna clean this up a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay, gonna do the same thing, just try to push that color down as far as I can until I cut the hole. Okay, get my pan. And just cut a little edge here. Okay, done with the red. Now let me just move this. Okay, get that out of the way. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick too to make sure I get any red and green off. Okay, the cake is gonna have a pink tint to it, so I think I'm gonna leave this white and just put some polka dots around part of the cake. So again, gonna shorten my piping bag. Just gonna do another little cut on here. Okay guys, I think my inlay is done. So I'm gonna go stick this in the freezer while we work on the cake. But it looks pretty good, right? Okay, so now we're gonna work on the cake. We need 3 large eggs, which I'm gonna separate the whites from the yolks. It's a total of 6 tablespoons of flour, a tablespoon of vegetable oil, 1.5 tablespoons of milk. I'm using 2.5%. A half a teaspoon of almond extract, a half a teaspoon of kosher salt, 2/3 of a cup of cake flour, and then a little bit of food coloring. So let's get started. I'm gonna start by separating my egg yolks, the egg whites and the yolks. I love these little containers. I get them from Amazon. but they're great. And then you don't have to wash them, but we do. We reuse them. Okay. Done and done. I'm gonna wash my hands now. I'm gonna set those aside. Okay, now we're gonna take the egg yolks, dump them all in, and we're gonna do 1/4 cup of sugar in this. I'm just gonna mix this together. Now we're gonna drizzle the olive oil, which is just a tablespoon, in here as well. Okay. And now we're gonna do the milk, which is 1½ tablespoons. And we're also gonna do the almond extract. So 1½ and then we need 1/2 teaspoon this is 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm going to do 2 of these of almond extract and salt. I'm going to do the salt first, just since it's won't coat this. So I need 2 of these for 1/2. Okay. And then 2 I love the smell of almond extract. Never want to overuse extract though. The flavor is just so condensed and can sometimes then taste more chemically than you really want it. Okay, just gonna mix this together really well. Okay, now I'm going to add just a little hint of red food coloring. It's gonna look a little bit darker probably than I want, but eventually it'll look pink when we get everything else incorporated. So just 1 drop of red food coloring. Okay, the next is gonna be to take 2/3 cup of cake flour and sift it directly into this. So here's 1. I'm gonna do 1 more third. I'm just gonna sift that directly in. And then I'm just gonna help it get the little balls in. Okay, that's good. And now I'm just gonna mix this all together. So now I'm gonna set this aside and get out my stand mixer. I'm gonna add my whisk attachment. Also gonna add my 3 egg whites. And just kind of get these going until they're really light and fluffy. Okay, now I'm gonna slowly add the remaining 2 tablespoons of sugar. Beat on high until this gets to medium stiff peaks. So I'm gonna just get those going. Of course, it's gonna get loud, but you'll see what I'm doing. So I think this is good. They want medium peaks. This might be getting a little overwhit, but it's gonna work for what we need. Okay. Okay, this is where I messed up the recipe the other day. So I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to pay attention. Okay, get my big bowl back. Changing my mind, and I'm gonna use a spatula because I need to fold, and I just think it's easier to fold with a spatula. I get sometimes too aggressive when I use a spoon. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of it and fold this in, which I think is so hard. I always hate when they say gently fold, but don't have streaks. Macaroons do this to me too. So I'm really just looking for a consistent color, trying not to deflate my egg whites. And then once I get it to a solid color, I'm gonna put the rest in. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the rest, guys. This is what I forgot to do last time. I only did the third, and I'm like, I know this is not right. And of course, I did not have enough cake. I'm gonna get every bit of this out of here too. Okay, I'm gonna go set this aside. I'm just gonna keep incorporating. Okay, I think this is where we want it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the freezer and I'm gonna go get my inlay and bring it out and do the hard part. Okay, here we go. So now all I have to do is put my cake batter over this. I'm gonna try to be really gentle. I might do it like this, to be honest. And just make sure everything is covered and pray that it works this time. It should. It already looks a million times better. Okay, I'm gonna put this bowl in the sink. I'm gonna try to get some of these air holes out. Pop them, you can see air pockets. I'm just trying to, there we go, a lot of those popped. Okay, I'm also preheating my oven. I forgot to do it, so I've got to wait a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna let this sit right here. I'm gonna do some cleanup, and then as soon as my oven is preheated, I'm gonna put it in. Okay, we're finally preheated, so I'm gonna do this once more. Okay, I think I got them out. It's gonna go in the oven for 10 minutes. Okay, so this is the part that scares the crud out of me. So what they say to do is to just take another piece of parchment, put it on, and then to get a stiff back, so I'm gonna get like another jelly roll pan, put it over, and flip it. If you're like me, you're saying a prayer right now. Please work. Trying to get a good hold. Okay. Oh. It worked, guys. It worked. Okay. And now it wants me to peel off this parchment. Yay! Oh, it looks so cute. Okay, and then I'm gonna see if I can get it out of here. I think I should be able to. Yeah, here we go. It wants me to take a tea towel and dust it with powdered sugar. I'm gonna double this because it doesn't need to be that big, I don't think. So I'm just gonna dust. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm just dusting this whole thing with powdered sugar, getting it nice, and I used it all. Let's do a little bit more. I don't think it can hurt. Okay, and then I think I just need to fold this over. Okay, I'm gonna grab that parchment. Okay, hopefully that worked. Take off this second. It's stuck a little bit here. I think we're still okay. I'm just gonna start the roll. And then it's supposed to sit like this for an hour until it thoroughly dries. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do. I'll be back in an hour. Okay guys, now we're gonna do the filling that's gonna go inside. That's what we're doing now. So I've got a spice grinder here because we're gonna do some stuff with some freeze-dried strawberries. I have this Cuisinart one and it has several different containers so they can stay clean. One's coffee, one's nuts. Okay, I'm gonna use this larger one because the strawberries actually are lighter than what I thought. And that's gonna make it easier, I think, to blend these because we want these to get to like a powdered consistency. And I'm using a 1/2 ounce, which I know I already is the rest of this bag. Okay, it's pretty good. There's still a little bit of chunks, but very few. So I'm gonna stick with that. So I'm just using this Knox gelatin. Back in the day, we used to have Knox blocks. And again, it's only a 1/4 teaspoon, but I'm just gonna open 1 packet. I'll have to waste some of it, but I'm just gonna use this little container. That's all I need. But yeah, 1/4 teaspoon. 1 tablespoon of cool water. And I'm just gonna mix that together. Just gonna mix that together. Now they said to let it soften for about 5 minutes. And then I need to put it into a microwave dish. So I'm gonna transfer it because we'll microwave it to help it get fully dissolved. We're just gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes. We're gonna keep using the whisk attachment. And we're gonna do a cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm gonna put just a tad more because the thing was coated with it, so it didn't feel like it got it all, right? And I'm gonna just let this beat on medium speed until it gets frothy. Okay, you can kind of see the froth in there now, so I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar and put it on medium-high until you can actually start to see it kind of getting thicker, more like a cream. Okay, so I know it's ready because I can tell where the mixer's been, it's leaving a trail. So I'm gonna take this out. And now what we're gonna do is, let me move this so you guys can see. I'm gonna take another bowl. I'm gonna take my gelatin now that's perfectly dissolved. I'm gonna pour that in there. And I'm just gonna take some of my partially whipped cream. And I'm gonna mix this all together to get it nice and incorporated. Okay. And then now I'm going to get my whisk back. Make sure this is tight. Put it on low. And then I'm gonna slowly add back in that gelatin mixture. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on low and I'm gonna just incorporate this back in. What do you need, babe? So this just helps, I think, get it a little bit more stabilized. Trying to get everything back in there. the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the sugar into my strawberry mixture. So I'm gonna add, I wanna say it's 3 tablespoons, but let me verify here. 3 tablespoons of sugar into the spice grinder with the freeze-dried strawberries, just to get them all incorporated. And then we're gonna put those in here. Okay, 3 tablespoons. Okay, now we're gonna get our mixer going on low again and gonna incorporate this all in here. I'm gonna just mix down the sides, mix it just a little longer. But want to make sure all that goodness is getting incorporated. Looks delicious. Okay, definitely don't want to overbeat it, so I'm going to leave it here. I think it looks good. Get out all that yumminess. It tastes great. Set that aside, get my mixer and set it aside. Okay, now we're gonna unroll our cake. Oh, it looks so good. I'm actually quite proud of myself on this one, guys. I've never really been able to do a Swiss roll correctly. I'm just gonna spread this evenly onto our cake. Okay. I know the big things about Swiss rolls are they can crack, which I think is the biggest thing. The filling can kind of get out of control. So I'm trying to, I can also clean that up at the end. I think that this is good though, right? Now I'm gonna just roll it back. And pray it doesn't crack. Oh. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna get some plastic wrap and just wrap it and put it in the fridge for a little bit. Okay, so I'm on the last phase of my strawberry Swiss roll cake. I'm gonna make some whipped cream and then I'm going to assemble it all. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna do, and this should be pretty quick. Get my stand mixer out for the last time. You can chill your bowl. They say that that kind of helps, but I'm not going to do that and it should be fine. Gonna use handy dandy whisk attachment again. And this is easy. It's just gonna be 1 cup of really cold, heavy whipping cream, and then 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar, and then gonna bring it to a stiff peaks. I'm just gonna scrape down the sides, make sure we're getting everything incorporated really well, and let it go for like another probably 30 seconds. Okay, just gonna get everything out of here. Put that onto the side. cut up a couple really pretty strawberries. I'll pick the prettiest ones out of the container. My husband ran and got these for me because I'd actually just used all of our strawberries. I'm gonna cut these in half, and I think I only need 2, so I'm gonna try to find pretty similar sizes. I think I'm gonna leave the green on. I think it'll look pretty. I don't know, maybe not. I'm just gonna cut them right in half. Use them. I'm gonna do one more just in case I need a little bit more. I don't know. This one looks so good. Okay, so I've got 6 pieces, which should be plenty. I'm gonna take the plastic wrap off of my Swiss roll and just trim my edges so that they look beautiful. Trying to make my presentation, like try to have it look as professional as possible. Okay. I'm gonna take a serrated knife and cut the edges off so we've got a perfect roll. And then let's do this one too. I'll give these pieces to my husband. He will enjoy tasting those. Okay. I'm gonna just try this while you guys are, you can see the beautiful cream in there. That's actually really tasty. I'm really proud of it. Okay, now I'm going to put the whipped cream in here. I do have a piping that I'm gonna use. This is, let's see, do I know what number? This is 2D, Wilton 2D. So I'm gonna go cut that end off so that I can add in my whipped cream. Gonna add my homemade Cool Whip or whipped cream into my piping bag, and just gonna add a little bit of decor to polish it off, hopefully. I don't think I'm gonna need all of this, but I'm gonna stick it in the bag because I've got it. I'll probably give the extra to my dog. I'm gonna just take some out so that way I know it's where I want it to be. And again, this is where I struggle a little bit, but I'm gonna try to do just like, there we go. Okay, simple, nothing too aggressive. And then I'm gonna just lay these strawberries right in here to give it a little bit of zhuzh. I did it, guys. So this is my first Road to the Tent dessert. This I probably should have cleaned up a little bit more so that you're not seeing that, but honestly, that's the only thing that to me doesn't look like it turned out well. Let me know your thoughts.